wearing a fitness tracker. It helps me get motivated to exercise and stick to a sensible diet. It lets me know how many steps I've taken and approximately how many calories I've burned, whether or not I'm actually working out, or just going about my daily life. And yeah, it's a bit of a style statement. It says, I'm the energetic type. But it's not perfect. Our reviewers have tested just about every fitness tracker out there, and each one has its quirks. If you're thinking about wearing one or upgrading the one that you have, we can help you get the most out of your fitness tracker. Most activity trackers are good at one basic thing, registering your footfalls, step by step, as long as you land with enough force.
All fitness trackers use either GPS, gyroscopes, accelerometers, or a combination of all three to measure your distance traveled and your level of activity. The gyroscope and accelerometers aren't going to provide you as accurate a gauge of where you are, but they are good enough for everyday use.
One feature to look for: some trackers will vibrate when you reach your step goal, literally giving you an exercise buzz.
I find that fitness trackers that use a point system, ones that give you points the more active you are or the more goals you achieve, I find that to be motivating because in a way it turns these healthy behaviors into kind of like a game. I think some people, they want to do better each day than they did the previous day.
A few models can keep track of how many stairs you climb every day. But beware of lazy units that fail to log when you don't land hard, like when you're skiing or working an elliptical trainer. Some newer fitness trackers can monitor your heart rate. But your body usually knows when you're working hard, so how much does putting a number on it help?
Knowing your heart rate when you're exercising can help you hit what exercise physiologists call the target zone. It's a point where your exercise is intense enough to provide health benefits, but not so intense that it causes health problems.
Several trackers let you input your weight, height, age, and a few other factors, and they will suggest a goal. Just keep in mind that if you do a low-intensity workout, or yoga, or extended stretching, they may not give you the calorie counting credit you deserve.
GPS watches collect a lot of data about your workouts, and sometimes having that amount of data at your fingertips is a really strong motivator. If you're training for a race, for instance, once you sync the data on the watch, you can pull up information about your distance, your pace, and even look at maps of your route. This can help you see elevation changes, and a lot of times these measurements are really invaluable for your training.
With a lightweight device that goes everywhere with you and syncs with the apps on your phone, tablet, or computer, you can keep your brain in sync with your body, like a mindful machine. But there are some things to look out for. If you have sensitive skin, for example, the bands or bodies of some fitness trackers are made of material that can irritate or cause a mild rash.
Contact dermatitis is a kind of skin inflammation that can be caused by touching an irritant like hair dye or pesticides, but it can also be caused by coming into contact with an allergen like nickel. People with nickel allergies need to look out for fitness trackers that have metal parts as well. And a lot of the trackers on the market today have metal charging ports or clasps that might contain traces of nickel.
You'll also want to be a little skeptical if your device claims it can accurately track your sleep. I mean, does it really know when you've gone to sleep or just laying down?
Most fitness trackers measure sleep using sensors called accelerometers, and these detect motion. So essentially it's looking at how much you're moving around, and this is a scientifically acceptable way to track sleep, but users should know that it has a tendency to make mistakes. These fitness trackers are more likely to say you're asleep when you're actually awake, and so in that way it might overestimate how much you're sleeping.
Someday, someone may invent a fitness tracker that's powered by all those calories you're burning as your body bounces. Until then, these devices will need a boost from time to time.
In general, most fitness trackers will last between 1 to 2 weeks on a charge. A lot of them have a little proprietary USB connector. In this case, it plugs right into the back here, and you can plug it into your computer or an outlet to recharge it. Other devices use a watch battery that goes right in the back. Now this one isn't rechargeable, but the battery will last between 3 to 6 months.
You're going to get quite attached to your activity tracker, but you really don't want it to get attached to you. After a few days of constant wear, you may catch a whiff of something unsavory in the vicinity of your fitness tracker, or it may feel a little slimy, sliding around on your arm. And hey, do you really want to wear a sweaty tracker to bed?
You should clean your tracker just as often as you think is needed. And in general, you want to use soft materials on your tracker, like a soft cloth or a cotton swab. And you want to use mild cleaners, like a mild soap or detergent. Keep in mind that these are electronic devices. They're not intended to be submerged in water, so it probably would not be a good idea to do something like put it in your dishwasher or your washing machine, because that could break the device.
So yeah, like any piece of tech, you have to maintain your tracker, but it's well worth it. All of our reviewers found that when they glanced down at their wearables, even just to check the time, they often couldn't resist checking their stats too. When they weren't on pace to make their daily goals, they found ways to up their step tally. And the best devices were the ones that sent them push notifications. Because even if you don't go to the gym, nothing says don't quit moving like a personal trainer that knows what you've done and what you have yet to do. I'm Brooke Mira.